Hello, friends. Hashim here. Let me give a quick update on the Bill 60. Of course, this has been a hot topic for a few weeks now. So I just wanted to touch points on this only with regard to the important points, which is for the landlord and tenant boards, okay, and with related to real estate transaction. So basically, what's happening uh, after passing this bill? So this bill was known as Ontario's Bill 60, known as the Fighting Delays Building Faster Act 2025. So this Ontario province had kept this bill to get passed. It's already passed now. So basically, the main intention will be protecting a lot of jobs. Basically, the construction industry was going in a bad shape. So now builders can start, building more homes, thinking that there is a standard structure. We all know that landlord and tenant board was a nightmare for any landlords. Okay, there are bad tenants in the market. Of course, there are professional bad tenants, but the landlord and tenant board was a nightmare for the landlords. That is period. There are incidences where people have stayed for a year, 1 year, more than a year by not paying the rent. That is absolutely absurd. 100%, there's no doubt in that. So now they have a clear mandate how that will work now. Okay, so now very important key points is tenants are no longer allowed to raise a new issue or present a new evidence during landlord tenant board hearing, limiting their ability to fully defend themselves. So basically, what used to happen is they used to find case, and they used to get so many other issues, new issues, complaining about the landlords, kind of say new issues they will get, and those issues will be added to the landlord and tenant board hearing. Then it will continue further. Okay, so that is done once for all good. They cannot do that now. The appeal period for tenant is cut from 30 days to 15 days. Okay, now before it was 30 days, now it is cut to 15 days, reducing time tenant for respond for the eviction of the decision. Landlords no longer have to provide tenants with 1 month rent as a compensation when evicting the tenants for a personal use of the property. Before, the landlord has to pay the compensation to evict the tenant for the personal use of the property. Here, as long as they give 4 months notice, 120 days notice, they don't have to give the they don't have to give the compensation. So basically, it is 4 months. So 4 months is fairly a big time, so that they can get another place to stay. So that is helping the landlord. So basically, the province is pushing more landlords, so that and also there are so many landlords, they are not renting their space as of now, just because of this nightmare. They are ready to keep it closed or unused space, or without even renting it, losing the money. So just because they are scared of the professional renters who will create problem in the future. So the government is encouraging those kind of landlords to come forward and rent it, so that they are protected, and their property is protected, their investment is protected. So next thing is tenant must pay. Tenant must pay 50% of the alleged unpaid rent upfront to be able to contest claim during eviction hearings, which can create significant financial barrier to defending their tenancy. Before, they will not pay for 1 year, and they go to the landlord and tenant boards, and they start fighting, and they can continue to like you know go on and on and on. So that is done for good. They have to pay if they are 6 months rent is pending. They have to pay 3 months. Then only they can go for appeal. Then only they can go for to contest, or else they cannot. The eviction process is being sped up, making the easier for faster for landlords to evict tenants who not pay the rent on time for this reason. Okay, so those kind of landlord are also protected. On the other hand, If you're a good tenant, then no problem. There's no problem at all. The problem was the huge issues where like landlords were facing. Okay, you can see here I have this is the so this is the bill actually, the October 23rd. So province introducing legislation to build home and infrastructure faster. So there is I can give this link in the description. You can go through it. So all the details are mentioned. So and this bill has got more than the landlord and tenant board as well. Okay, so but everything related to speeding up the process in the province of Ontario, and they are undertaking a section by section review of the Ontario Building Code to reduce regulatory burden and cost while maintaining the safety. So because there are a lot of overlaps in the Ontario Building Code, where it takes its own time to uh, pass the permitting. So that also they are looking into it. Then most important thing, like we already discussed about the landlord boards. Okay, so then crackdown on fraud in Ontario licensing system by strengthening eligibility requirement to get the Ontario driving license. That's very very important. Okay, so basically helps build housing or a seasonal farm worker faster by making it easier to put the to get the work done. So definitely, like it's a good thing in the good thing. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.